Mali, the trial of a former prime minister and the junta's tightening grip on power. In September 2025, Mali entered yet another chapter of political turbulence as the trial of Moussa Mara, a former prime minister, opened in Bamako. Mara, who briefly served as head of government in 2014, was arrested in July 2025 after posting a message of solidarity with political prisoners on social media. His trial, held at Mali's specialized cybercrime court, has become a defining moment in the country's ongoing struggle between democracy and military rule. According to Yahoo News, September 29, 2025, the case stems from a July 4th post on X, formerly Twitter, in which Mara declared his unwavering solidarity with prisoners of conscience. He named several jailed opposition figures and added a poetic line, "As long as the night lasts, the sun will obviously appear. We will fight by all means for this to happen as soon as possible." This seemingly symbolic message was enough to trigger the ire of Mali's military rulers. Within weeks, Mara was summoned by the Cybercrime Prosecutor's Office and charged with undermining the state's credibility and legitimacy, opposition to legitimate authority, inciting public disorder, and spreading false information. The arrest and charges. According to Firstpost, August 2, 2025, Mara had already been under scrutiny for openly criticizing the junta's decision to dissolve political parties and grant Colonel Assimi Goïta a renewable 5-year presidential term without elections. His July 4th post was the final straw. By July 21st, Mara was barred from leaving the country to attend a regional peace and security conference in Senegal. Days later, he was detained and formally charged. His lawyer, Muntaga Tall, described the proceedings as politically motivated, noting that the hearings were public but designed to intimidate. Tall emphasized that Mara remained calm, insisting that a politician should expect anything, including prison and death. Yahoo News. The political climate under Assimi Goïta. To understand the significance of Mara's trial, one must situate it within Mali's broader political climate. 2 coups in 2 years. Goïta first seized power in August 2020, toppling President Ibrahim Boubacar Keïta amid mass protests. Less than a year later, in May 2021, he staged a second coup, sidelining civilian leaders in the transitional government. Firstpost. Indefinite transition. In July 2025, Mali's military-appointed parliament granted Goïta a renewable 5-year presidential term, effectively postponing elections indefinitely. Yahoo News. Dissolution of political parties. In May 2025, Goïta dissolved all political parties, eliminating organized opposition. Pre-P. Crackdown on critics. Journalists, activists, and opposition figures have been harassed, detained, or silenced. Mara's arrest is only the most high-profile example. According to the Pinnacle Gazette, August 20, 2025, Mara's detention was part of a broader wave of repression that also saw another former prime minister, Chogil Kokala Maiga, jailed on embezzlement charges after criticizing the junta. 3. The symbolism of the trial. Mara's trial is not just about one man's social media post. It is a litmus test for the future of political freedoms in Mali. Targeting a former prime minister. By prosecuting a figure of Mara's stature, the junta sends a chilling message. No one, not even former heads of government, is beyond its reach. Weaponizing cybercrime laws. The use of cybercrime legislation to prosecute political speech reflects a broader trend across Africa, where governments increasingly criminalize online dissent. Firstpost. Public spectacle. The trial is being held publicly, but critics argue it is more about showcasing the junta's dominance than upholding justice. 4. International reactions. The international community has reacted cautiously. Regional silence. Neighboring Burkina Faso and Niger, themselves under military rule, have expressed little criticism. Instead, they see Mali as part of a broader regional shift toward military-led governance. Western concern. The European Union and the United States have expressed deep concern over Mara's detention, but their influence in Mali has waned since the junta pivoted toward Russia for military and political support. Yahoo News. Russia's embrace. Goïta has cultivated close ties with Moscow, even hosting President Vladimir Putin in Bamako in June 2025. Russian mercenaries have been deployed to fight jihadist groups, further emboldening the junta. 5. Security versus democracy. Mali's political crisis cannot be separated from its security crisis. Since 2012, the country has faced a jihadist insurgency linked to Al-Qaeda and the Islamic State. Despite years of French military intervention and UN peacekeeping, violence has spread across central and northern Mali. According to Firstpost, jihadist groups like Jamaat Nusrat al-Islam wal Muslimin, JNIM, have grown increasingly sophisticated, ambushing convoys of Malian soldiers and Russian mercenaries in central Mali. The junta argues that extraordinary times require extraordinary measures, but critics warn that repression only deepens grievances and undermines stability. The human dimension. Beyond geopolitics, Mara's trial has a deeply human dimension. Mara's defiance. His lawyer insists he remains calm and resolute, embodying the risks faced by politicians who dare to challenge the junta. Yahoo News. Families of prisoners. For families of political detainees, Mara's solidarity message was a rare gesture of support. His arrest has only deepened their despair. Public opinion. Many Malians are torn. Some support the junta, believing strong military rule is necessary to defeat jihadists. Others see the trial as proof that the country is sliding into dictatorship. Mali's current trajectory echoes earlier chapters in its history. In the 1960s, President Modibo Keïta's socialist experiment ended in a military coup. In the 1990s, a popular uprising toppled General Moussa Traoré, ushering in a democratic era. Today, Mali seems to be repeating the cycle, military rulers promising salvation, only to entrench themselves in power. The trial of Moussa Mara may one day be remembered as a turning point. Either the moment Malians rallied to defend their freedoms, or the moment silence became the norm. What comes next? The outcome of Mara's trial remains uncertain. Possible scenarios include conviction and imprisonment. This would further consolidate the junta's power, but risk international isolation. Conditional release. The junta could release Mara under pressure, portraying itself as magnanimous while still intimidating others. Prolonged legal limbo. Authorities may drag out the trial, keeping Mara in detention without resolution. Whatever the verdict, the trial has already achieved its purpose, demonstrating the junta's dominance and warning others against dissent. Conclusion. A nation at the crossroads. Mali today stands at a crossroads. The trial of Moussa Mara is not just a legal proceeding. It is a mirror reflecting the country's political trajectory. It shows a regime increasingly intolerant of criticism, willing to use the law as a weapon and determined to extend its rule indefinitely. For Malians, the stakes could not be higher. Will they accept the junta's narrative of security-first governance, or will they demand a return to democratic accountability? For the international community, the trial is a reminder that the struggle for democracy in Africa is far from over, and that silence in the face of repression carries its own costs. As the proceedings continue in Bamako, one thing is clear. The trial of Moussa Mara is not just about one man. It is about the future of Mali itself.